In this video, I'll be working through the question you can see on the screen from the Cambridge A-Level Maths Paper 1. Specifically, it's Paper 1-1 from the winter exams in 2023. If you're looking for a different question from this paper, there should be a link to a playlist with all the questions below this video. I'm doing this on a whiteboard. Hopefully it'll be like you're used to your teacher doing. And if you do find this or any of my other videos useful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you like, subscribe, or even share it with a friend that's doing the exam this year or next. In question 1 part A, we're given the term 1 plus 3x all to the power of 6, and we're asked to expand that out. And then we're asked to only write down the terms, the x terms up to x squared. Meaning they want the term with no x's, the term with x to the power 1, the term with x to the power 2, and ignore all the rest. Now you could do this just by multiplying it all out. It'll probably take 10 minutes and it would be a mess and you're bound to make a mistake. So much better, we use the equation they give us. I'll put it up on the board here, the binomial expansion. We go ahead and use that, and we can expand this out. So it's the first term to the power 6, which is just 1. And then the second term to the power 0, which again is just 1. So we won't even bother writing in. Next up, we would have the first term, let me write it over here. First term to the power 5, second term to the power of 1. But there's multiple of these. Think when you square the number out. The first term there's one of them, the last term there's one of them, but the middle there's 2 of them. Same with this sort of thing. The first guy will have 1, the last one will have 1, but the middle ones have more and more. In this case it would have 6, or let me write it like this, 6 choose 1. That's how we can do it for any number. Again, next term it would have 6 choose 2. I think this is 15, let's write that down here, 15. Then you'd have the first term to the power 4 and the second term to the power 2. And yeah, they don't need any more, but it would be 6 choose 3, 1 to the power 3, and the second term to the power of 3, and so on, going on and on and on. Again, they don't need that one, I'll ignore that. And we just need to clean this up. First term is 1, second term, this is a 6, this is a 3 here, so we'd have 18, and there'd be an x. And next term, there'd be a 15 from this. There would be a 3 squared here, that's a 9. 9 times 15, let me check my notes, is 135. And of course there's an x squared. So it is quite simple to find them. In fact, if they ask you to find the 4th term, you could just put in your calculator 6, choose 4, 1 to the power of 2, 3 to the power of 4, and that's the coefficient of the x to the power of 4. So they're quite easy to get these when you know how to use the binomial expansion. Okay, for part B, we're obviously going to go ahead and use this information we found from part A. But in part B, they talk about, let me write here, B, they talk about 1 minus 7x plus x squared multiplied by this guy here, 1 plus 3x to the power of 6. And they want us to find the coefficient of the x squared term when we expand that out. So we're not going to use this here. We're going to use this new answer we got. So let's go ahead and write that down. 1 minus 7x plus x squared multiplied, instead of this, multiplied by 1 plus 18x plus 135x squared. And this term goes on and on. We don't care about it for reasons that should become obvious here. They only want, when we multiply this together, they're only interested in the term that has an x squared. So they're not interested in 1 multiplied by 1, because there's no x in that at all. They're not interested in 1 times 18x. There's only x to the power of 1 in that. They're only interested in 1 multiplied by 135x squared. Let me write that answer down. 135x squared, because that has an x squared. They're also interested in the x here multiplied by the x over here. So that's minus 7 multiplied by 18, which, let me check my notes, is minus 126 x squared. They're only interested in the terms that will get you x squared. So x squared multiplied by 1 will also do plus x squared. That's why we were not interested in any more over here. X to the power 3 cannot multiply by anything over here and get you an x squared. Not in this case, it'd have to be a 1 over x over here to make that work. So while there are many other terms, x cubed terms, x to the power 4 terms, there's x to the power 1, x to the power of 0 terms over there. The only ones we're interested in is here. This would even go x to the power of 8 because there's x squared and x to the power 6. Anyway, we're interested in none of them. We're just interested in this, and if we take this away, that gets a 9 plus 1, we get 10x squared. And you would, I believe you'd get full marks for this. Just be careful, they didn't ask you for this term. They asked you for the coefficient of this term. And the coefficient for that is the number in front of the x squared. So the real answer is 10. But again, I think they would give you full marks for that.